Hey guys, so today I am doing a video on how I got my hair this shade of purple. So it looks a bit different in different lighting. Right now I'm kind of under fluorescent light, so it's more of like a magenta purple, but then when I go outside it's like vibrant purple. So I actually really like how it turned out. I'm shocked because the process itself wasn't that great, so I'm hoping that if you do attempt to follow this, maybe you can learn from my mistakes. The key is buy more dye than you think you would need, because I was dyeing 3 bundles of hair and a closure and I ran out of dye. So the hair that I used was by UNice, I think is how you pronounce the brand. So I will link down below the hair that I got. It was 3 bundles of ombre hair. It was like 1B and it bled into like almost like a bleach blonde. So I thought that would be the easiest way to go about getting this color, because I wanted the ends to be super vibrant and then up top be a little bit darker. So I think that definitely worked out, because it went from like a black, which is still there basically, off black, to kind of a brown to the blonde. So really love this hair. Because I did use a semi-permanent dye, obviously there's no damage anyways, but I do think that it feels exactly the same as it did before. So basically I only ended up wearing 1.5 bundles of this hair that I ended up getting from them. So I didn't need that much because I do have the closure in, which takes up a lot of space on your head. So I have the closure, the 18-inch and the 16-inch on top, because I kind of wanted it to blend a little bit nicer. So the dyeing process itself was actually pretty easy. I ended up using 3 dyes. So in a perfect world, I would have bought 4 dyes. I would have probably got 2 of the Ion Brights, and then I would have just stuck with these. So really liked these dyes because they are semi-permanent. You don't need a developer, which also means that you aren't damaging your hair. So it was nice to get hair that was like already kind of bleached but didn't seem like it had ever been processed. So I really did like the quality of the hair, but I just needed more dye. So I went ahead and I started off by using this Ion Color Brilliance purple. So this is their brights. I really like this. This is like a dark purple. So as I'm painting the hair and mixing everything together, you guys will see what the shades kind of look like. So once I had it all mixed together, I really liked it, and I actually thought I had way too much dye, so I ended up applying a lot more than I needed to on the first layer of hair, which was the 16, which is what I have laying on top of the 18. So that was like the most vibrant out of all of them. And so the other 2 colors that I mixed with those were by the one and only Argan Oil. So I highly recommend this color. I love it. So I used the pure purple, which is just kind of like a typical, I'd say, cranberry purple, and then neon purple, which you can really see when I go outside. I have some ends that are like a little bit more neon, so I definitely think when they say neon, like they mean neon. So if you're going for more of a cool toned purple, I would definitely stick to the brights and then try and find another color that is more so blue toned to mix with this. So I got all this from Sally's. So they had just a regular color bowl. This is also by Ion, along with a brush. So when I dyed hair in the past, I've never dyed like my actual hair. So when I dyed extensions in the past, I actually just ended up using gloves and I applied it with my hands like an amateur. So I thought this time I would go ahead and get a brush and a bowl so that I could easily do it. As you guys will see, as I apply it, I ended up starting from the bottom and worked my way up to the top, and I did that because I wanted to make sure that the bottom had the most color, because the bottom was the lightest, because you can get away with the top half being a little bit less pigmented if necessary, because the color is already going to be darker. So I wanted to make sure I got the ends done perfectly, and then once I started running out of dye, I kind of just started painting all of it because I wanted it to at least be pretty even. So as the layers go through, like for the most part, it stays pretty purple. When I was looking at the wefts before she installed it, there were little spots where it was kind of like almost a burgundy pink color because of the way that it mixed with the brown that was like layered right in between the off black and the blonde. But once it's installed, you honestly can't tell. But the quick fix that I did to at least kind of help myself so I didn't have to go back out and buy more dye because I'm cheap, I just ended up laying the wefts on top of each other and taking some of that excess color off of the top and kind of just blending it into the other hair that wasn't perfectly coated. So that ended up coating it pretty well, and I think I saved myself a lot of time doing it that way. So I think laying it down on foil is your best bet because then you can evenly coat it and you know how much dye you have as you're doing it, because if I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't have known that there were so many splotches. I did go ahead and do one more thing with the hair after I went ahead and like rinsed it out, and that was using a color sealer. So this was pretty cheap as well. I think this was maybe like $2.50, $2.75, and I actually didn't end up using a lot of it. I think I only used maybe like a third of the pack. There's actually a lot in here. You have an ounce. So all you do is you go ahead and wash the hair like normal, and then you apply this. You keep it on for like 1 to 2 minutes. I think I kept it on for like 3 just because I was like doing other things. And then you just go ahead and wash it out. So when I did the hair, I did not use a shampoo. Like all I did was I rinsed it out, and then I added this, and then I conditioned it, I believe. I thought that was the best bet because I actually mixed in a conditioner with the dye when I was using it, and I used a deep conditioner. So this is 100% not necessary. I really use this more so to dilute the color a little bit. So if you want it to be brighter, just don't add as much. But I went ahead and used a replenishing one because it's just a better conditioner. So this is just like a olive oil one. You can use this on natural or normal hair. So I really, really do like this. A lot of people will use conditioner when they are dyeing the hair with a developer because obviously there's going to be some damage, but I more so just used it so that it would keep a little bit more of its liveliness, and then also just to dilute the color. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have dyed hair in the past, what your experience was like, and maybe some of the things you've had issues with and some things you thought made it easier, just so people in the comments can read it and hopefully it will help. I hope you guys do like the hair. If you don't, it doesn't really affect me, but I really do like it. So, you know, could have gone worse is what I'd say. But if you guys did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you.